12 poker players, a room full of egos, everyone out to prove who is the best in poker. What a fantastic start we've had to this Premier League.
Please don't single me out for your rules.
Here, you give your speech. I know all the rules.
I just call it like it is. Now you're mad at me?
Phil, I don't think you've got a license to tell anybody about Morning or Wolfe.
See you guys.
Tony, why do you want us to send you zero?
Phil Hellmuth, top of the league right now.
I'm trying to be the best poker player of all time. I'd like to have this Premier League title.
But the other half of the field into play. This is how the tournament works. Every regular season match awards 20 points and $20,000. It's 8 points for first place, all the way down to 1 point for fifth. If two players are level on points at the end of the league, the player with the most wins will be ahead. Everyone's got their eye on that final table. The 12-game regular season will bring the top four in the league standing straight there. The final two seats will be the winners of the playoff matches, heads up between 5th and 8th and 6th and 7th, while the bottom four in the league standings straight to relegation. I'm Jesse May, and this is the partypoker.com Premier League Poker. With me today, Phil Hellmuth, who stormed to the front in the last heat and is top of the table. Phil, you got to be really pleased about that.
Absolutely. It's always great to win and to start out in front with 8 points. I mean, first or second's key, man. 8, 6, and 3 points for third. So you have to get to first or second. First is just icing on the cake, baby.
Now, having started this tournament out and dipping your feet into the format, do you think this is going to be an accurate reflection of who the best in poker is?
Well, to tell you the truth, Jesse, there's a lot of skill in each individual event, but the fact that you get to play 6 of them makes a difference. So I think you're going to see some of the better players emerge by the end of this thing. You know, starting out winner was great, and now I get to watch. I go from playing and winning to commentating, and I'm going to think it's going to be really interesting to see everybody's whole cards and the way they're going to play, especially because I have to play them all again.
Exactly. So let's have a look at who's going to be sitting around the table tonight.
Of all the people in this tournament, who's had the most success in the past 2 years, I mean, that's me by a long way. You're going to see me in the final 6, so watch out.
I know I'm entering the valley of the giant egos, but I'm not scared. I'm just here to gamble.
I'm the only one from Germany, obviously, so I want to win this very much.
I've had enough of second places. I'm here to win.
I reckon I've got the perfect game for this format, and I'm willing to take it to any of the players.
When you step up to the door of destiny, you have to be able to open it, and certainly I'm on that footstep.
A roll, tied, a roll. Let's get this heat underway. 6 players sitting down for this exciting heat. Phil, what do you make of this heat?
Well, first of all, Juha Helppi finished second to me for my 10th bracelet, and he played a great game, and he's known worldwide by now.
Looking at the chips there, players beginning with 100,000 each in chips. The yellow's worth 1, the blue's 2, the red's 5,000 apiece. And of course, it's not all about winning. Points given out for every place you finish. Cards out of the chute for the first hand. Now, Phil, in your first heat, the Devilfish tried to take charge early to his demise. Do you think anyone's going to do that here?
Kenna James could try to take charge.
Best shot.
You know, and look, he has a 10-5, and what's he doing? Sure enough, he's trying to take charge. I guess it was a lucky call there, but yeah, he's going to try to take charge. I don't like that strategy. Ian Frazer's probably going to fold this hand, and it's not a bad fold. I mean, Kenna raised under the gun. If he could see Kenna's hands, he'd re-raise him.
Wow, maybe he can, Phil.
Wow.
That's pretty aggressive by the Frazer, isn't it?
I mean, it's like he saw the hand. But I mean, it was just, you got to give him credit. He's made a good play here.
I fold 2 like my robot friend.
I would be folding ace-4 clubs for the original bet, never mind re-raising, but you just give him credit. He's read Kenna's having nothing, and he's raised.
It's 9,000 back on KJ. Is there any way he can justify peeling off the flop here?
He could. I mean, if he puts...
like this all day, is it?
I don't know. If I pick up good cards, it will be.
I think Kenna's probably going to fold. He wants to take charge, but let's see if he picks up something on Ian. Now, if Kenna is playing like a super genius, he could just move all in here, and there's a high probability Ian would fold. Nope.
Well, fireworks the first hand. And Phil, they talk about sending the message early. Has Kenna been warned?
Well, I mean, I think Kenna might have to rethink his "let me take charge" strategy because Frazer popped him on the first hand back.
Ian Frazer has made a massive impact on TV poker in the past few years. He's won the UK and European Open titles and become one of the most feared players at this six-seater format.
Windsor Castle, and they were changing the guards, and this Italian guy was filming, standing right in the way, and they just ran over him. Just
Coren on the button here.
The guards are coming.
They did.
Yeah, they just ran over.
Frazer the
just
razor.
Walked right over.
Just like, the camera was
on horses.
On horses?
No.
No, just in foot.
Oh, they just don't pass.
You know, the beef eater.
But he broke their stride, I bet.
Cool.
Step on somebody's head, it kind of changes your gait.
A very interesting hand here because Frazer decided to call with 9-7 suited.
6,000 total.
Which means Roland didn't raise with the ace-8.
Oh, wow.
Now Vicky picks up 9. She raises. And now let's see what Eddy does here. I think he's probably going to re-raise it. It's the most simple way to play the hand. And he's hoping that maybe Vicky has jacks or 10s and...
We raised to 19,000.
Oh my. Is Kenna James gonna... Can he take this hint? Raise and re-raise, Phil.
Wow. Well, you know, you had a limp in. You had another limp in. You had a raise and a re-raise by Eddy Scharf. Now this is... You can't get away from ace-king too often in these things, but this would be a spot where Kenna could actually get away from it. But let's give him some credit. I mean, laying down ace-king is you know, bordering a world-class play there.
Great stuff, and it's cleared the field around. Now, what about Vicky?
Vicky might decide might decide to call. It's not that much more for her to call, right?
It's only 13,000, Phil.
So I wouldn't blame Vicky if she took a flop here.
If she hits a 9, perhaps she could bust him.
Exactly. And she has, you know,
Okay.
Good laydown. Give her credit. That was a very good laydown. Now they're playing the game. There was an ace-king and 2 9s folded before the flop this hand. Wow.
Water, says Kenna. I need water after folding the ace-king before the flop. This game of the Premier League season underway. Remember, in this Premier League format, each of the 12 players will play 6 games, trying to accrue points in the league standings that'll keep them in that promotion zone to the final table.
That's what he said to Jesse.
When you've won bracelets, trophies, and millions of dollars, think of the shame if you're in the bottom 4 of these point standings, the relegation zone. And Frazer really out of the box here. Is he going to get a re-raise from the Wolfe? Oh my! This is setting up very well for Vicky.
Wow.
How much is it? 32.
And this is going to put Roland in a lot of trouble.
Wow. So Frazer made a move at this pot. Roland detected the move with the ace-jack of spades. He made a nice re-raise.
That is the least clever thing.
And now Vicky has picked up 2 aces. What a great position for her to be in.
She's moved all in here, Phil.
Yeah, and she goes all in. I mean, very lucky hand for her that, that Ian was out messing around with 8-4, and that Roland made a good read on the 8-4 was very lucky for her. Sometimes someone makes a great read, and it benefits you when you're sitting with a bigger hand behind.
Is Vicky thinking that Roland might have a big enough hand that she can get action from him?
I don't know what she's thinking, but she decided to just stack off, and that's one way to play the hand. That is the most conservative way to play that. And Roland's going to fold quickly too because he knows that he's probably against ace-king. How many chips does he have left is the question. They have $32,000 each in this pot, and it's only, what does he have left? 60,000, right? He's getting laid 2-1 on the call here, right?
Yeah.
He's getting laid over 2-1 on the call. He thinks he's a 2.5-1 underdog. He has no idea that Vicky has aces, which is the worst possible hand for him.
Oh, pass quicker next time.
Why she's begging for a call.
I've got to be behind, but...
But are you getting a lot of odds?
It might be a flip. Got queens or kings.
Exactly. Now you're thinking right. But can you get away from your hand?
Okay.
Yep, he has to fold.
Pass.
It wasn't that hard to fold to me, but...
Way behind me if you pass.
Very lucky hand.
So Vicky Koren, the beneficiary of the bullets in the small blind, and Phil, she is the chip leader. And she looks very comfortable down there, doesn't she? Vicky's hit the headlines lately with a big win in the EPT Championship in London. She's really proved her status as a player.
When I was a student, I used to commute back to London on the weekends on the bus. I used to go back and lose all my grant money every week in a game in North London. When I was young, I don't want to sound like a very, very old woman, but they didn't have the internet back then. So if you wanted to learn poker, you had to pay whatever money it cost to sat down, and you did your brains learning the game. And about 2 years in, you had to make a decision, either, all right, I'm going to get good at this, or I'm going to stop. And I hope I went the first way. I might not look like most people's idea of a serious poker player, and I find it very hard to talk like one, all that alpha male, I'm the greatest stuff. But I've won a lot of money playing poker, and I know what I'm doing.
$1 million, says she does. Vicky Koren's poker game on in leaps and bounds. Phil Hellmuth beside me, top of the league, and one of these six is going to tie him tonight. Coren limping in up front with the 8-10 suited, and Ian.
That's bad for her. Frazer has the queen 10. He has her covered.
Pass.
Her 10 covered, as we'd say.
To Wolfe, just happy to get a free flop.
Look at that. 8-10, queen 10, jack 9. If we had like one of those weird medium flops, they could all flop something big, right?
Yeah, 9-10 jack, huh?
Okay, there's going to be fireworks because we have Frazer's flopped top pair with a 10, and Vicky has flopped a flush draw with a 10 with a weaker kicker. So I predict there's going to be some fireworks here. Let's see what happens.
I mean, Vicky's going to have an impossibility trying to lay this down, isn't she? Is Frazer raising?
Well, Vicky just called in the first position here, so that's the only thing that concerns Frazer. Did she call with jacks or queens or kings or something, and now she's just went ahead and bet out on it.
Raise 25.
10,000 plus 15 from Ian, and big chance of Vicky moving all in here, Phil.
Well, I think Vicky's probably going to move all in here. She has to at least call 15,000 more, but this is a good spot for her to move all in. She asked for a count.
Okay, I'm all in.
All in?
Okay, so I think she's made a very good all in here because she has 2 chances to win this hand. And look at that. You see the stats on the screens there? It's almost even money. But her first chance is if she gets Ian Frazer to fold for the $55,000 raise. And her second chance is she can hit an 8 or a heart.
Yeah, and Frazer's given her the opportunity to get her chips in first.
It's a very difficult call. If I could bet with somebody right now, say you, Jesse, I would bet he's going to fold.
Might not get a better chance here.
I would still say he's going to fold. You want to bet it, Jesse?
No, I'm with you. I can see the cards, and if I had his hand, I'd fold, even seeing her hand.
And he's been forced out.
Wow. He didn't like it, did he?
I mean, you are incredible. Really. I'm like a little spur.
Looking at the leaderboard, ladies out in front again, Phil?
That's right. We've had 2 of these, and both times the early chip leader's been a woman. Last time Liz Lou, this time Vicky Koren, and there's only 2 women in this thing.
KJ on the button.
Pass.
Wow, Kenna folded a king on the button. I'm surprised.
A little limp in from Ian. He has.
Don't be surprised if Juha just moves them all in for 46,000. No.
Raised 14 total. 10 more.
He's raised 10 more. It's a good raise. And he has Ian Frazer in bad shape because they both have an 8 in their hand.
Looks like Frazer's considering the big move. He is, and he's done it.
And I think Juha's going to call him.
If Helppi does, he'll be in great shape, dominating. He's
He's a 2.5 to 1 favorite, Juha is. You know, I'd be surprised if he folds. But let's see.
Juha having a look.
You see, Juha's been slow playing some hands himself. He just called and then re-raised a few times, right? So so he's thinking, is that what just happened to me? Did Frazer just call with tens and then re-raise, or did Frazer just call with ace queen and then re-raise, hands that would have Juha in bad shape? Now, if Juha senses weakness, he's going to call, and if he doesn't, he's going to fold.
Call.
And he called. He sensed weakness, and I thought he'd call. I mean, let's give Juha credit. I mean, he's my favorite to win this thing.
Perhaps the difference between good and great, Juha Helppi makes the call, and he's right to boot. Frazer now in terrible shape here.
Frazer's a 2.5 to 1 underdog. He really needs a lot of help here. He basically needs a jack or a straight or a flush.
The only good news for the Razor, that there's got 5 more of these to play.
That is a great flop for Juha right now. Ian Frazer needs a jack. 1 to come. Ian needs a jack, or this is or he's gone.
Don't look pretty.
Chair goes back and river comes down. 3 kings with the ace, good enough.
It was a paint, but Juha Helppi played the hand perfectly. He raised 10,000, then he called the 32,000 more. When he had the best hand, give him credit. He's now up around 200,000, I guess.
And Frazer, first man out, no points, no money.
They're all great players, and as soon as someone goes short, they don't need schooling. They know, every time it's my blind, I know I get picked on. You can hear the chit chat. I just felt really lousy, to be honest. I'll need to pick myself up and get out there for the next game.
I have a hard time believing Roland too. He looks like a kid in a candy store that's walking out with a Hershey bar sticking out of his pocket, doesn't he? Huh? In a comic book? I mean, I know he's not, but I mean, just kind of,
And Kenna's just talking up a storm now, and
Hershey bar.
as long as he keeps talking and confusing people, it's good for him.
Yeah, they call them chirping chips, don't they, Philly?
And here comes Vicky just calling with the 9s.
Wow.
I mean, I just don't. She's just playing way too conservatively now.
Might she lure someone in?
Well, Eddy Scharf was thinking about raising with 4-5. Of all the hands out there, the only one that has a real chance of beating her at this point is Kenna's King Deuce. I mean, he has an overcard. Excuse me, Juha Helppi's King Deuce.
These players all be well aware, Phil, the last time Vicky limped in, she made something big. She put the move on Frazer, didn't she?
It's a terrible flop for her.
Where's the advantage?
But if she bets 4 or 5, if she bets anything, she wins the pot.
Scharf looking for a deuce to make the wheel, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, that's an open-ended straight draw for Scharf, right? He needs a 6 or a deuce.
Wow, Roland de Wolfe's going to go for a naked bluff. He's saying that 24,000 is too valuable to leave behind.
Wow. Look at that. That is a nice play. Just judging by what Vicky's done so far, she's probably going to fold this, but if she can find her way to make this brilliant call here, she's going to be back in the hunt, and the boys are going to say, wow, what a call.
Yes.
You think Wolfe is going to bluff on the river? Is he going to follow through here?
Yes.
He's committed.
He's going to follow through.
Check.
He's checked it.
Wow, that was a bad play. Now Scharf, all he has to do is bet 10,000 or something, some small bet. Scharf really check 5 high. Just for a tiny little bet, he's going to win this pot. Oh, and he bet big. Good move. Scharf wins the pot. That was excellent. Roland has no option. I mean, it's
They
over.
both got nothing.
Yep.
8 high would win.
Well, I mean, if de Wolfe bets first, he wins it. All he had to do is bet 8,000 or something.
Pass.
I was thinking no heart, please, on the end, no heart. 7's bad too.
That was not Dream River card.
De Wolfe saying there, I guess, Phil, there are a lot of cards on the river he would have bluffed at, but not that one. You believe him?
Well, I think what de Wolfe is trying to say is, man, I had jacks. I really hated the 7 of hearts. We're at home. We see his hand. He had an 8 and a 6, for God's sake.
It's kind of like riding a horse.
Roland to Wolfe, he exploded onto the poker scene in the last 18 months. WPT and DPT titles between them.
I'm an adrenaline junkie. That's what I love. That's what I need. When you're a gambler, you just find people to gamble against, and it doesn't matter whether you're playing Chinese against Hellmuth or against some guy from the street. It's just the adrenaline. It's great. I'm not primarily driven by records or titles. It's about money, of course. It's about playing well, and it's about living a lifestyle that you're accustomed to and that you want. I think that's the most important thing. Hopefully winning a few trophies along the way would be great too. The mantelpiece is pretty full, but you know, I can always build another one.
Leaderboard for this stage of the game, Ian Frazer out while Juha Helppi way on top. Roland to Wolfe, he's short, does not want to pick up that 1 point. He wants more. Pretty hard to believe it'll go like the last one, Phil. Too much pressure?
Chips are going to get moved now. That's just the way it's going to be. You know, I mean, each opening is 30 to 35,000. There's going to be some re-raises, so.
De Wolfe was probably down to this one or the next one, so he thought.
Yeah, so he's moved on with 10-8, 31,000. What could he do? Oh.
25.
Kenna hasn't looked at his cards
I don't think he's looked yet.
Yeah,
No,
he wouldn't
wouldn't do
slow roll
this.
him.
35.
No. Kenna's saying I'd call with any 2 cards, but he'll find the aces there. You can't really blame Roland for moving here, can you?
Well, he could have waited one more hand, or sometimes I like to wait for the big blind because sometimes a good situation comes up there. Kenna hasn't looked at his hand yet. When he looks down and sees 2 aces, he'll say, I call.
I'm sorry, I wasted the time call. Sorry.
Yeah, it wasn't slow roll at all. That was.
It was totally unintentional. He even apologized because it could have been interpreted.
I never looked at it, obviously.
Good call.
Kenna's feeling a little silly right
There's some
now.
English humor. Good call.
But the situation here, Phil, De Wolfe in very serious shape by about a factor of 4 to 1.
Phil Hellmuth was talking now.
Surprised he's in such good shape.
Yep, 81%. So, I mean, 4 to 1 favorite here, basically.
Oh,
wow!
My goodness.
That's what I get for not looking at my hand.
Are you serious?
Yeah, dude.
You don't think aces can get cracked? Think again.
Wow, that was
Give him an 8
unbelievable.
first. Give him an 8,
Look at that percentage
he really
switch.
feels confident.
This hand's been a bit funny, hasn't it? 2 aces in the deck for KJ.
Bing! Corner pocket.
Now that's a bad beat there. Oh!
My goodness.
Are you serious? There's an ace on the river. So Roland got all of his hopes up. He'd have 70-some thousand in chips, and boom, there's the ace on the end. Roland said, hey, listen, just turn the deuce 3-4 and end it. Don't show me 3 10s and then pull an ace out on the river, for God's sakes.
He's smiling, Phil. He's laughing. This guy is one cool customer. This
He really
De Wolfe.
is. He really is a cool customer.
You better believe he's going to be back, but out with 1 point here tonight.
Significant pot.
Look at that.
It was a
hand
significant
again.
pot, Kenna.
It was, would have been over 70,000, and De Wolfe, who thought he was dead, all of a sudden flopped 3 10s, but the ace on the river, the full boat ace is full.
Yeah, what a hand, huh?
I can do a lot of things in poker, but I can't make people pass aces before the flop. So that's what I would have needed to do to win today, right? And no one was passing aces.
So 2 of the favorites gone, but these things happen. And this is where the points get meaty.
Not you, unless you're
Huge
gonna toast
opportunity
yourself.
for one of these 4 to make an impact. Vicky Koren on 88,000. And Kenna with a hand
25.
to turn the screws a little.
All in. I'm all in.
Re-raise all in.
Re-raise all in from Vicky Koren. She's making her move. And what good timing she's found.
Great timing. She finally moved all in, but you know what? This is one of those situations where the raise is only... How much is the raise? Let's get the raise right before we... She started with 88 to 25. It's a $63,000 raise, so Kenna's getting laid 2 to 1 with his ace high here. And he has a real tough situation. He's getting laid 2 to 1. He may actually decide to call here. But
63,000 more.
he's got a very tough call here against Vicky because Vicky has not made a move. She hasn't been aggressive enough. She finally got aggressive. Good play, and she's probably going to win this pot.
And she's going to take KJ off the best hand.
She made a good play. Now that's what she needs to do a little bit more of. Not necessarily all in with King 10, but maybe a few more opening races. But that was very well played. She made the right move at the right time for sure. Well played, Vicky.
She's showing a bit of the form that won her the London Championship. Looking at Vicky Koren's chip history here, her worm.
Well, that's what I said. She just slowly went down, and she made her move, and boom, that's the spike up.
Just so you guys know, I don't have enough to fold next time. So.
Now, let's take a look at Kenna's, because you're going to see he lost like 75,000 the last 2 hands. Zoop! Straight down. Ouch. Now that's got to hurt, right? Yeah. And look at Kenna. He's turning red right now. I turned red after I lose a couple of pots, too. But you can see it. It's noticeable.
I'm going to tell you right now, it will be a burr.
A cowboy, Kenna James, one of the real nice characters on the poker scene. He plays hard and then plays hard.
I started, playing, for paychecks. Just for every penny I had in my pocket. And there was days where I would sit in the car at night after losing everything I had and crying my eyes out and thinking, is this worth it? I think everybody comes to that point and you got to push through it. And thank God I just had I had the strength to find something I really love to do. And I think, isn't that the key in life, to find something you really love? And that's really success. So I'm happy with that, and everything else that comes is just gravy.
Welcome back. 4 left, battling it out for points, while the others sit in the green room eyeing up the competition. Except Phil Hellmuth, who's sitting with me.
You guys
you are over there.
Juha Helppi currently with the advantage at the table. He's in the lead.
Use the euro, and that's Austria. It's basically the same.
Austria. It's a nice country.
You gotta like that about Kenna. He's got everybody laughing. He's lighting the tension. He's got people. No, Vicky, don't call. Don't call. Don't call. Don't call. Don't call.
Is she trapping here, Phil? Is she committed to this hand? It doesn't matter.
I just don't like the call. Now, she might end up doing well here, but why not raise it up and just take that 15,000?
Okay.
Now, one of these times it might come a Queen Jack where she actually gets a nice payoff. I mean, that's what she's been playing for, and she really has been unlucky not to get that. And there it is. Now, this could be an enormously huge pot, and she's a huge favorite right now. She has a flush draw, an open and a straight draw. She needs a king or a 9 or a spade or a queen or an ace, for God's sakes.
It's going to be tough for Helppi to get away from this. Although Kenna James.
25,000, all in.
A lot of information.
68 again.
I mean, these guys. It's my Phil Hellmuth impression.
Well, he did a good Phil Hellmuth impression. That's exactly what I would have done, because I would have checked top pair too, and then when they go bam, bam, but I would fold the hand probably within another 15 seconds if you want to do the impression right.
Wow.
Yes, Kenna, we know you have top pair and a belly buster straight draw.
Wow.
You know it's no good. Kenna was going to check raise the flop, though. It turns out he's in bad shape, not just to one hand, but 2 hands.
See, I knew you were robbing.
You were wrong, Kenna. He has you dead.
What the heck are you doing over there, Bigster?
I'm re-bluffing.
Are you?
Yeah.
What do you got, ace 9 of spades? Something like that?
It is a huge hand for Vicky.
Well,
but,
you had to raise with ace 9 of spades. Let me just... I'm sorry, I shouldn't talk. He's in the hand.
Well, he's wrong about that. She didn't raise with ace queen of spades, so she's not raising with ace 9 of spades. Can't believe Kenna's taking so long
What's
here.
Helppi going to do? Is it automatic call for him? It's going to be 78,000 more, Phil.
Well, right, with 78,000 more, I think he's...
was the best thing I did there. I can believe that one.
Anyway, he could get away from this.
Pass.
Well, is it It's 78,000 more, right?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
He's actually
Assuming it's
priced
78,000 more, he's really priced in here. I mean, I can't really blame him if he calls. I mean...
I need a drink.
Juha hates it. I mean, the only hand he can beat is a draw. I mean, she just stacked off.
See, now this is a bad beat. Okay? This is bad. You come over, and the bar's empty.
I mean, she could have ace-jack. Now, Juha might be thinking to himself, she might have queen-jack suited. And if she has queen-jack suited, she may have played it the same way. She could have the jack-queen of spades. She could have jack-queen offsuit and just decide it's good. Because he didn't race with king-jack. So he knows that Vicky knows... that Vicky, I'm sure, would think Queen Jack is good because he didn't raise, so that might make him call. Do you understand? And it's only 78,000 more. There's already 160 in there, so he's getting laid 2-1. He may well have the best hand. She could be drawing, and he's made the call.
Yeah, Coren.
He's made a good call.
Technically drawing,
he's 2-1
ahead percentage-wise.
Yeah, she's a 2-1 favorite. He's a 2-1 underdog. So he made the call. He got the right math. And let's see what happens. She's in great shape.
She's got lots of chances to be a huge chip leader. Does Coren. Some chances to go out as well.
Wow.
That switched it. She's a dog now.
She's an underdog now. This is an exciting hand. You know.
Any spade, any 9, any king, any queen, any ace.
Wow, that is really unlucky for Vicky. I give her credit, actually. She did get all the money in, a huge favorite there. And basically, she lost the pot. I mean, that's a pretty tough way to go out.
Yeah, her gun shooting blanks tonight on the turn in river.
It must be pointed out that was a $220,000 pot, and she was a 2-1 favorite. So she just couldn't dodge the mighty Juha.
I think I played a pretty straightforward game today. When it seemed like the right time to stick my chips in, I did, and I passed when I didn't. And, you know, need a little bit more luck to get further in, but the brilliant thing is we get about 5 more attempts.
2 points there for Vicky, which will place her mid-pack.
I don't know. There was another time, too. I don't know. I mean, I tell you, I can't even tell you what
Is there any argument for Kenna to be thinking, I'll leave Eddy Scharf alone and try and take some chips from Juha?
Well, maybe look at that. Eddy Scharf folded a queen 10 on the button. That surprises me. I mean, I would have had to at least call there. Wow.
Oh, gosh.
Well, of course, now knowing that Kenna James has aces.
Right, it's 25 total.
Don't be surprised if Juha just throws a king high away for 15,000 here. On the other hand, Juha's thinking, you know what? If I move Kenna all in and I'm wrong, I still have 200,000 left. Okay, Juha went with the math and said maybe a king will come. Well, you know what? He doesn't want a king.
Just to let you know where I'm at.
That's a good bet. What is this about? KJ,
beautiful
the bet in
play.
the dark.
Beautiful play on
Why?
Kenna's part. Well, because it looks like he's weak that way. You know. It looks like he's weak that way.
20 to call.
Now I think Juha's going to figure it out and just get away.
Kenna pulling out every trick in the book. Is Juha falling for it?
He's trapped Juha. See, betting 20 in the dark, he got Juha to just give him 20,000. Now, if Kenna's smart, he'll check. But, of course, we don't know that, you know, we can't see what he can see.
Check it.
Nice check. Now he's giving Juha a chance to bluff in case Juha has nothing. And Juha, oh, my God.
This is a high-level hand. Helppi's drawn dead right now.
Helppi's drawn dead. Now, let's see what Kenna does
30?
here.
30, yep.
30,000?
I mean, isn't
now, if Kenna knew he had king 5, he would just call here. But I think you might see Kenna go all in or something here.
Well, if he does go all in, Phil, he can only be called by a hand that beats him, can he?
How beautifully did Kenna play this hand? That's what I got to ask you, Jesse. How beautifully did he play this hand? And he just called again. That was so pretty. And now Juha's thinking his ace-king. Well, that was perfect. Now, that was so perfect. Now, Kenna gets to check again. And Juha might just decide to move all in. Kenna played him so perfectly.
There's 150,000 in there. Helppi has to bet to win. KJ's got him. He suckered him.
He suckered him so beautifully. The $20,000 bet in the dark on the flop was the difference. Now Juha's thinking Kenna has 2 8s or he has ace-king. If I move all in, can I get him to fold? He doesn't have any idea that Kenna has aces or, you know, he would have given up a long time ago. I really hate the fact that Juha fell into his trap. Juha should have just folded the king 5 on the flop. Why bluff 20?
Beat 2 7s and take it, man. That's all I can say. Beat 2 7s and take it.
Helppi's really thinking about this.
Can you beat 2 7s?
See, Helppi's already given away 30,000 and 20,000.
That means it's a check.
Yeah.
Check.
Helppi's sick. Right now, Helppi's sick right now. He's like, why did I give away $50,000 with king 5 offsuit when I was trying to play tight?
He is, Phil, but he can see the humor in the situation as well.
Yes, you got to give him credit for that. He is smiling. I give him credit for that.
Yeah, not bad. Well, you're on my left. I got to have one.
It's pretty wide open now, isn't it, Phil? You think Kenna? Would you put Kenna favorite right now, from a psychological point of view?
Juha's played too good all day. Uh-oh.
Right, it's a 25 total.
10 plus 15 from Helppi, suited
Helppi's
connectors.
staying aggressive.
Is he steaming?
He may well be steaming. I mean, Eddy Scharf's thinking about moving in on him with a king 6, so let's see what Kenna does. Oh, okay, this is Kenna's chance to just move him all in right now, but it's a difficult thing for Kenna. Kenna may end up calling here. Yeah, he called.
Oh.
I don't blame him.
See what happens.
Yeah, but I mean, you know, I mean, the difficult thing is, it's very hard to make those kind of re-raises, you know. Now let's see if what Kenna does here.
$30,000.
Is that a weak lead?
Well, that's got to be frustrating for Juha, because Juha, you know, was in there with 9-8. Now, let's see if Juha. I mean, let's see what kind of. I mean, look, listen. The average player has to lay down the 9-8. It's over. The pot's over, right? You understand, Jesse?
Intestinal
it's over.
fortitude, perhaps.
But Juha, if he piles in 100,000 here, that is just.
What if he piles in about 80?
Wow. What can you say? What a great play. Juha's trying to win the tournament.
Under 40.
You got to give him credit. Now let's see. I just, again, the average guy would have just folded. Now it's back on Kenna. Now the average guy in Kenna's spot would fold too. In fact, it's an easy. He's in a much more difficult place than Juha is, actually. I'd be very surprised if Kenna can do something here.
Well, Phil, the fact that Juha just raised a little bit, it looks even stronger, doesn't it?
Juha played the hand so perfectly.
That's wrong with the wrong guy, man. I'm telling you.
Well, you know, Kenna's talking about messing with the wrong guy, and Kenna's right about that, but guess what? He said, don't mess with me. Juha not only messed with him, he bluffed him.
I mean, it looks like a snowdrift over here.
Juha Helppi is the original Finnish poker player. He has won a WPT event, but is more well known for finishing second in big events, once to Roland, Wolfe, and once to Phil Hellmuth.
My career highlight is definitely the WPT Aruba, because that meant a lot to me. I was totally unknown before that. Then people got to know me. I got to play some big tournaments. I got some other nice results, and it's been like a dream after that. I have a few big second places. I really hated losing to Roland, and especially losing to Phil last summer. But I hope I get my revenge here.
We are witnessing some great stuff. And Phil, any
some
chance?
high-level poker there by some high-level poker. I thought the King 5 was low-level. I thought that the 8-9 was high-level.
Any chance that Scharf could just sit there and get his way into second by letting the others crack on?
Look at this. Look at this. King 6 for Scharf.
She made it 30,000. Oh, wow.
Oh, 2 kings for Kenna James. All right. Now, what Kenna's thinking is, how should I play this hand?
Call.
Wow, what a beautiful play that was. He smooth called to try. Oh, he smooth called to try to nail Helppi out of a big pot, and now Helppi's gonna raise here. What a beautiful smooth call. These last 3 hands are amazing.
It's almost a cold.
And he moved all in, and there it was. And what a beautiful play. Kenna has just won the tournament.
It could be over right now. Scharf
He has
might
just
call as
won
well.
the tournament, I think. I don't think Scharf... Listen, even if he busts... He's not going to bust Helppi this hand. But if his kings hold up, he's going to have over 400,000 in chips. Do you understand? It doesn't matter what Scharf does. The tournament's over if these 2 kings hold up. Because it doesn't matter. Scharf only has a little bit of chips. If Scharf manages to fold his hand, he's going to end up with about the same amount of chips as Helppi. What a sick position for Scharf to be in. With the king 6, he's looking at 2 kings. Oh God! Kenna, you know, if Helppi hits an ace here, that's brutal for Kenna, because Kenna played this hand just world class beautiful. Oh, and he insta-called him. Helppi almost fell out of his chair.
Helppi says, bad for me, I guess. He's a right. And James has him snookered.
Wow, what a hand, man.
Let's get on a horse.
You've got Kenna singing again.
King aces. Pretty good.
Wow, what a series of hands. It is KJ all in, but this pot 3,
This is
6, 2.
unbelievable.
I'm going to go over to the bar. You tell me what happens. I don't want to. They'll get upset. Oh, they got a camera over here, right? I can go over here and tell me what happens.
362,000.
I'm getting old, you know. Plus, I don't want them to see my face if something bad happens. Just sit over here and drink. Worst comes to worst. There's no bad beats, just not enough alcohol.
Well, what can you do? A Helppi. By the way, it's not like Helppi played this hand really, really bad.
A lot of money at stake. I'm glad they have this bar here. That's all I know. If I lose, I'm taking this coaster home. I just want you to know that. I'm taking this coaster if I lose this hand.
I would hope that if I had ace-jack that maybe I could figure out that Kenna was trapping me, but it's just a tough thing to do.
Have they done the flop yet? Holy cow, come on. My clothes are going out of style. I'm going to have a heart attack here.
You know, basically, Kenna just handed Juha Helppi a machine gun, and Helppi shot in the middle of the pot there. But the only thing was that Kenna has an aircraft carrier,
with a set of coasters.
and an aircraft carrier is always going to beat a machine gun. He has a tank. It's a tank against a machine gun, boys. That's what it is.
Since you made me wait this long, I'm taking these two.
Queen 7-5.
Coasters too.
By the way, Juha wins the tournament if an ace comes off.
Yeah, you're right, Phil. This is huge. This is big.
Glad they don't have a heart monitor on me. I'll tell you that much.
Oh my God. Oh! There's only one king left in the deck now.
Did they do the flop yet?
Phil, Kenna doesn't know yet. KJ doesn't know yet.
Let's just say you have 2 outs at the moment.
KJ doesn't know yet.
I'm just taking the whole day in the coasters.
Wow, that's just brutal, man. I mean, that is just brutal.
That's why I had to come over here, because I couldn't take it and puke on the table over there.
That is brutal.
Taking all the coasters.
Oh, that makes me sick to my
You've
stomach.
seen it here.
For God's sakes.
You've
I
seen
love
it twice.
Juha, all right, and I love Kenna, but it makes me
how bad
sick
was it?
because Kenna just trapped him like so beautifully there. But you know what?
Well,
That's poker. And I'm sure I would have handled it the same way as Kenna. Not, I would have probably knocked a chair over. I'd be swearing. But that's me, the poker brat.
Well, Juha's saying the truth. KJ getting 5 more chances in this tournament.
This is where I walk
3
silently
points,
off
Phil.
every
He's going to be a
night, right?
factor. But the cowboy lassoed.
I knew it. I knew it was coming. That's why I had to walk away. I couldn't stomach it. I knew when he turned over to ace-jack, that was it. I was done. Every time I come over here, I get down to 1 or 2 players right down at the end and just wham. So very disheartening, and obviously I'm very disappointed. But the one bright spot is that this is the beauty of this format. You know, I'll have more opportunities, and they're going to have to do it to me each and every time because, you know, I'm going to come back with some vengeance.
Ain't we got fun? Head up now. And 2 heroes
Can I got aces
who have
twice
gotten
on
here
the
by
stage?
vastly different routes.
Handshake?
I think one interesting thing about this is they're shaking hands. Juha's talking now about how lucky Kenna was. He picked up aces, he picked up aces, he picked up kings, he picked up kings. Juha, you just put a bad beat on the man for $370,000. Don't tell us how lucky he was.
So these 2 battling it out to be the one who joins Phil Hellmuth at the top of the Premier League standings. But with 6 points already in the bag, most of their work is done.
Wow. Pocket 10s for Scharf.
Best way, limp in perhaps?
Well, I think he'll probably raise it and root for Juha to move all in.
Oh, look at that. This is
Wow. 2 black 10s against the 2 red 10s.
all 4 in the deck, isn't it?
And Helppi just... Oh, he did re-raise, okay. They're going to be in shock.
You don't see this too often.
Black pair.
What are the odds?
And Phil, only about 1 in 100 times is this pot not going to get split. Perhaps
Yeah.
even less.
Well, maybe 3 or 4 in 100, but it's definitely rare. Helppi's on the free roll, as he said. Free roll, which means he can hit the club.
Free roll to win it as well.
Club is like 18-1 or something, by the way. So I mean, but at least he has a chance.
Yeah, anything but a club is.
Oh, you gotta be kidding me!
Scharf is
They
thinking.
even make the split pots take a long time here. Or will it be a split pot?
Eddy says
a club
no.
comes on the end, and Helppi's going to be your tournament winner. It's a club! Wow, you got to be kidding me!
That's pretty bad.
That's pretty bad. No kidding.
Okay.
What a finish to what a heat, Phil.
It must be said, Helppi played a great game. I mean, he really did. He
doesn't matter how.
He got a little bit crazy with the King 5 and the Ace Jack, but he made a lot of really great plays along the way. So let's give him credit.
That last hand, the same hand, unless 4 to a suit appear, which it did. Club, 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 and the flush, giving Helppi the 8 points and the money.
Second is very important because it's double the amount of points from third. So basically my intention was to play a conservative type of poker, especially because my last appearances in this type of tournament weren't so good. So I wanted to get, kind of good feeling, get off to a good start.
I got lucky today to win, to be honest, but I played okay too. And you need a lot of luck to win a hit like this. 5 great players, and well, I include myself a great player also, so 6 great players, and I was lucky enough to win it this time.
As it stands now, after 2 games, Phil Hellmuth and Juha Helppi in the promotional zone leading with 8 points, as are Liz Liu and Eddy Scharf with 6. In the playoff zone, it's Kenna James and Andy Black with 3 points apiece. Vicky Koren and Kirill Gerasimov not unhappy with 2. But relegation right now, facing Devilfish Elliott and Roland Wolfe with a point apiece, and Tony G and Ian Frazer have some work to do.
Well, all our 12 have played, but there's still a long way to go, and only one can become the champion. Join us next time on the partypoker.com Premier League Poker.
I cry too much when I lose. You cross boundaries, that's much worse. That's what you do.
He has more money now, more jets, he has more companies. Let's give more to charity, Phil. Let's give half. Every time you win, give half.
Are there any other boundaries you want to cross? You want to talk about my wife and my kids or something? You didn't start there yet? Okay, good.